Good afternoon everyone and welcome back to Wonderland Asylum. Back today with issue 16, the Hachette partworks release of Titanic, the ship, the legend. Okay, so as always, looking at the magazine, the first article is travelling in second class. That's a reference photo from Olympic. There were very few pictures actually taken of Titanic itself. Most of the reference photos that you'll find are from Olympic because they were so similar anyway. About the pricing, I didn't know that cabins that were mostly on D, E and F deck, but they were interchangeable. The ones on the starboard side of E deck were interchangeable between first and second class. If it was first class, they put a rug in and a heater. If they were second class, they took the rug and heater out. That was the only difference, which is a bit bizarre, but there we go. And there's the dining saloon. In fact, that's the smoking area. I am completely wrong, should have read it first. Yep. Very nicely detailed. Again, that's on board the Olympic. Again, that's the menu for second class. Some of the china that second class passengers would have used. That's the second class dining area, but that's obviously an artist's rendering from a brochure. Barbers on board the Titanic. Yep, all of them were for first class really, and there were no ladies hairdressers available on Titanic because ladies had long hair and tended to be attended to by their maids, so there was no need for them to have a trim. And then there's an article on the pianos which were on board the ship, which brings us neatly on to the part that we're all really here for, after all. Unless, like me, you're a bit of a Titanic geek, then there are the parts. So, let's have a look at what we get with this issue. Okay, so as always we have our brown box, and in this issue, what we get, make sure there's nothing else. It's always better to be safe than sorry, and I show the empty box to the camera as much for my reference as anything, so I know if there's a part missing I can check back and make sure I didn't just drop it. So unwrapping the tissue paper, again I've actually come to quite like the way this is all, you know, packaged together. We have a piece of decking. Now some people have had issues with this, and you can see actually, I think largely because of the heat, the backing has started to come off mine already. Balmy about 13,000 degrees in my office today. Yeah, so not the most pleasant, but okay. So also in the pack we have some details. Again, the swan neck vents I'll be colouring in with my fine point Sharpie, because they would have been black, not white. And then we have the second set of boat deck housings that we get, which is the first class gym and the stairwell. Now if you look there, you'll see you have a door with a porthole in it. Now my original plan was to colour that in, but I have changed my mind. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do instead before we do anything further. So if you give me 2 minutes, I will show you. Okay, so what I have here is a small hand drill with the smallest drill bit I have. And what I'm going to do is drill that out so that when we fit the circuit board in there, which will include the lighting, it'll light up that porthole instead of it being, you know, because you can see there, it's rather washed out, but it's just white. So easiest thing to do, the porthole's already indented, so all you're doing is making sure you line your drill up with the middle, few wee turns. You can see the white plastic already starting to come away. You don't want to put too much pressure. Your drill bit should do most of the work, and there we go. So again, just run it through another couple of times just to clean the hole up. Lovely. And there you go. You can see there that now the porthole's been drilled out. So that'll let the light seep out, and it also adds another little bit of detailing. But as you know, the first thing we're going to be doing is fitting this deck section down. So I'll see how mine fits. I know these are all laser cut. In fact, mine fits really, really nicely, actually. I know some people have had issues with the fit not being quite correct. The only thing I would possibly say is it's a bit short at the front there, but it fits everywhere else absolutely perfectly. Some people have had issues with it being too wide, so it kind of arches up in the middle there. I don't seem to have that problem. So the first thing I'm going to do is, as always, get my handy dandy paintbrush and my PVA glue. It's been sitting for a little while to let it go tacky, and as I say, in this heat that won't take very long at all. Now just apply a light coat of that all over the bits you're wanting the deck to stick to, which basically is all the white bits. Now the bit people have had problems with, as I said, is this middle kind of section here going along there, and the reason for that being that the earlier issues, it seems to have been, because mine are coming direct from Hachette, I'm not buying them in the shops, it seems to be the ones that were manufactured first, because as I say, the deck sections are laser cut. It's never going to be 100% accurate with every single piece. You have to account for slight variations in the wood, etc. So that is what most people have been putting it down to. What some people have actually done is just broken the deck in half and taken out a couple of planks or a plank from the middle to make it fit properly. Fortunately, it doesn't look like I'm going to have to do that, because I lined it up and it all fitted absolutely perfectly. Now, unless I'm not mistaken, because I've looked ahead, I cheated a little bit. As I say, it's taken me a little while to get back to this. I had a few other things to take care of. I still haven't finished my Bismarck yet either, although I have received the power mod from Partwork Upgrades, which is essentially the excuse I was using was I was waiting on that coming through. That is now here. So as always, I don't see much point because there's no adhesive left on this now. Line it all up. Make sure all the holes line up and push it down. And there we go. There is the deck section in place. Just to say, make sure all the mounting holes for the deck pieces, the details all line up. Perfect. Now that actually works well, so I don't think I'm going to weight it down or put clothes pegs or anything on it just now. So, now on to the little white pieces. So we have them all here. This we're going to be doing something with soon. What actually happens with that is there's a photo etched white grill that goes over the front there, and they get attached to, you can more or less see there's 3 mounting holes there. That gets attached in there once you put the grill on it. But we have to keep it aside for just now until I think it's issue 20 we get the grills, although I could be wrong. Actually, I think it is issue 20 that we get the grills. So, yep, that's what that looks like. So, as I say, these cowled vents there, those swan neck vents, I think they're calling them. Nope, I was right. These two are the cowled vents, and the bigger one, this one, is the swan neck vent. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, I'll show you the first one, get my fine point Sharpie, and just colour in the centre section here. Now I could use a paintbrush and and everything, but I find it gives you far more control to use the Sharpie just like that, and you can see the difference there. That's the difference between the two. Adds a little more detail to it. I know there are a lot of people who are very, very unhappy with certain elements of this and the lack of detail. I've mentioned it a couple of times, but again, you know, it's a couple of minutes with a felt tip pen. It's hardly going to ruin your day over it, but you know, some people feel that with the pricing point it should all be done for you. And there we go, there's the second vent. Perfect. So, first piece we need is this piece here, as I say, the swan neck vent, and it is going in the two holes that are on the edge of the deck, just there, and the kind of vented part points back towards the arch there, just like this. Again, they are kind of moulded, one stud bigger than the other, so you can't really get it wrong. There's that one in. Then 16A, because these two vents are slightly different, I think, looking at them. Let me see. Yes, they are. So 16A is the one with where the two pegs at the bottom are offset, and 16B, the pegs are one behind the other. So where it's going is just here into these two holes there, and the vented section is pointing away from the what is eventually going to be the dome for the grand staircase. Did I just give that away? And then the final piece is going into these two holes just here, and it again points away from the grand staircase. There we go, and that looks just like that. And as you can see, there again is the porthole that I drilled out. Now I'm told in fact I've seen pictures that we're getting, you know, photo etched window pieces to go along there, so that should look quite good. But yeah, looking pretty good so far. Quite impressed with that. Not much to do. Issue 17, I'm told, is again not much to do, but we'll have a look at that in a moment. So yeah, see, looks quite nice. And again, we have that other vent piece that we've to put away for another time. So stick with me and we'll recap. Okay, so not a particularly difficult one, but yeah, quite a nice piece. Again, expanding the forward boat deck housings, and these two sections, the one we worked on previously with the front funnel and this one which will house the second funnel, they will hook together. So I might well do that just to show you how it looks. Speaking of the second funnel, we are starting it in issue 17, starting it but not finishing it. Whereas previously we had built one of the funnels in one issue, in this one the funnel is actually going to be split over 2 issues. Partworks are partworks, that's just the way it is. But yeah, so it's looking pretty good. As I say, join me for issue 17. I have issue 17, 18, 19 and 20 here already. Issue 21, 22, 23 and 24 should be with me in the next couple of weeks, because I say it's been a while since they were delivered. I've just had other things to do. But if you give me a moment, I'll bring the other deck housing over and show you what it looks like when you put the two of them together. Okay, so you may remember I had a bit of a gripe about how it felt very, very slow. Well, that is basically the forward deck housing. Now that's not the bridge, that is the back wall of the wheelhouse. The bridge will extend further out, because people had said that is so inaccurate, and yes it is, if that's what it was meant to be, but it's not. So yeah, that is, and as I say, by the time we hit issue 20 we're almost finished with the details for this deck, and we've got the second funnel on here as well, so, and the window for the grand staircase. So it's picking up pace really, really quickly actually. I'm not sure what's happening after that. I know issue 20 we're putting the first set of LED lights and a lot of photo etching and everything. 17, 18 and 19 I believe are primarily dealing with the funnel, and we do get some more hull pieces as well to expand the hull. So yeah, it's starting to pick up pace a little bit now. Hopefully I'll be able to keep up more. I just haven't things to do recently. But yeah, thanks very much for watching. As always, if you enjoy what you're seeing and you haven't yet subscribed, please do. If you liked it, leave a like, leave me a comment, let me know any thoughts, criticisms, complaints, or anything you're enjoying. But yeah, as always, thanks very much for watching, and again, peace out everyone. See you next time.